Hello, good people. Angel Boteo here, your host, and with me today,
Franco Munoz.
And so we're about to have another conversation. We've had tons of these conversations before. We're in my weight room, right, newly and furnished in a way, and but it's under construction still. Today's conversation, it has to deal with exercise science basics, right, and fitness and health, and how that helps our mental health. Me, myself, I've been in the exercise science industry since 2011, 2012, several certs, degree in exercise science at Grand Canyon University, and worked for several gyms here and there, among other things that I do, real estate and public safety, etc. Franco?
I also went to Grand Canyon University. I have my bachelor's degree in behavioral health science, and then I'm working on a doctorate in psychology right now. And similar to Angel, I've actually been in the exercise science industry. I've worked as a group trainer, in different gyms, and I've done some personal training, and now I'm in a different type of training, if you will. It's mental health training. So we're here to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of the things that is also very crucial is how we look at fitness and health, right? There's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Stigmas, myths. And so the idea here is to keep it very basic, right? Very simple. And so, just a little backstory, as the culture says, right, I identify as a Catholic American. I believe my buddy does too, which is why we're having a conversation in relation to that aspect, because we can't separate the body from the soul. But more specifically, the idea is to be good stewards, right? Good stewards of our body. Yeah. And so one thing we were doing as our religious practice has us do is be out there and be of service to the community, and that's how we met. Mm-hmm. We met through Salt and Light Street Ministry, which, hopefully a conversation of that ministry happens in the future soon. I'm going to be reaching out to you, Deacon Doug, FYI. Mm-hmm. And so we, how long ago was that?
Oh man, it was back when my wife and I got married, like 2022, 23, yeah.
Any hoots, so here we are, right? Catholic brothers, on the same mindset, same mission, trying to do right? And so that means we can only do that if we're actually physically capable to do so. Sometimes the body prevents us from doing things. Sometimes the mind prevents us from doing things. Mm-hmm. And so the idea is, how do we make this simple for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. And so what I've learned in my experience is that sometimes most people don't understand the basics in exercise science, mm-hmm. right? In fitness and in health. And so that's kind of a little bit of how we want to lead in the future with these conversations, mm-hmm. but more importantly, how exercise, right, is medicine. The ACSM, the American College of Sports Medicine, they have a saying, exercise is medicine. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I try to self-medicate a lot in the gym because it makes a difference. How does that help you working out? How does that help your mental health?
Oh man, so it takes me back to a podcast I was listening to by Father or Dr. Greg Bottaro. And he references a lot to the mind, the body, and the spirit, and the importance of the unison of the mind, body, and spirit. How it's not just an individual, it's not three individual things, but the way to be a healthy human, the way to be like a human, a functioning human, it's a thing that combines. It's like a unison, right? Just like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So you have to train, if you will, the mind, the body, and the spirit, right? The mind, with mental health, reflecting and therapy if you need it. The body by exercising, eating correctly, not neglecting your body what it needs and giving it the proper nutrition. And then the spirit, you're being a Catholic. You go to adoration, you go to church Sundays or at the Vigil Mass on Saturdays, and then you go to confession and being connected to our Father, to our Savior.
So what you're saying is it's a holistic approach.
Yeah,
right.
It's definitely a holistic approach. Yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
And it's all research based. That's what research says, and it has to be like it's a trifold thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so that, with that being said, there's something we learned at the university called the 6 dimensions of wellness. I'll have to share that, who's the reference to that some other time, and exactly the details. Sorry, I don't have them for you here, but still, it's a holistic approach because it talks about not only, your physical state, right? Your mental state. Obviously, it talks about your spiritual state. A lot of times people don't understand it also involves your social state, and including your occupation, right? And then there's one that I think I'm missing still, family, right? Like how things are with the family. And so all these things factor in. And one of the biggest things I tell my clients, first and foremost, is your sleep, right? We got to have quality sleep. We have to have quantity in sleep.
Quality and quantity.
And if you don't have that, that's going to make everything else harder. And trust me, I have sleep apnea, right? So I have sleeping problems, and I have different methods that I've been using to try to help improve that, including using healthcare, right? You got to have healthcare for let's call it self-care, right? Healthcare is self-care, right? Because real fitness, real healthcare comes from fitness health, right? It's from improving your fitness. And so sleep, you guys got to look at your sleep. Pre-workouts, people love doing pre-workouts. They do them after work, after a long day. I get it, you need energy. But nonetheless, are you disrupting that circadian rhythm, right? Is that going to keep you tossing and turning at night? And chances are it is, right? And therefore, you're not recovering, you're not regenerating, and so your mental state isn't going to be clear when you wake up.
Yeah.
But some people can go off for like 4 hours of sleep and be great.
You can.
If you're a superhuman mutant type of guy,
there's
right?
no such thing as a superhuman, as far as I know. But
nonetheless, right?
I think there's a big self-care is a big thing out there right now, and I think it's being used incorrectly. I think self-care can be overused. Like people, for example, there's self-care that can mean going to have a pizza, ice cream every day because you feel overwhelmed after work, and that makes you feel comfortable. Comfort food, if you will.
Food. Yeah.
But it's okay to do those things once in a while. But doing it every day, that's not really self-care, because that's not really protecting yourself. That's not protecting your body. It's not, you're not taking care of your body.
So here's how we can simplify that a little bit, right? Because at the end of all of this, my goal is to give my friends, right, my watchers, my people, my clients, my customers, is real exercise simplified. That's my goal, right? Exercise science basics in relation to that industry of what I do. And so that being said, you were talking about fuel and nutrition. Well, part of the problem is we don't have a balance between feasting and fasting.
Yeah.
Right? It's real simple. A cardiovascular surgeon talked about that, and it makes total sense, right? And he said so many things in another interview. And so the point is real simple. Don't eat for 12 hours, and then you have the other 12 hours to do what you got to do. But to make it even more simple, right? Stick to proteins, healthy fats, fiber. right? You throw in your carbs where you need to, but that's another way of just simplifying what that looks like as far as nutrition, right? Real basic, real simple. That's the idea, right? Is balance out how you feast, when you feast, and when you fast. And from a religious perspective, fasting is also going to be, right, double the what is it, double the bang for your buck.
Exactly.
Right? And then some. And so to further add to that, then we're looking at movement, right? We got to move, right? Get some sunlight in the morning. Get some sunlight in the morning, move, right? Get the blood pumping, get the oxygen moving.
Yeah. So there's actually a hormone that the brain releases when you exercise. It's called, there's an unofficial name for it. It's called the feel-good hormone, and that's endorphins, right? When you work out, your brain releases endorphins, which make you feel good. And that's why,
serotonin, dopamine,
exactly,
right? All those other ones, oxytocin.
If you're married, oxytocin, it's called the love hormone, and it's released when you're conjugating with your partner, with your wife or husband,
Well, that's another reason why rehab for people that have addictions, why exercise is important, right? Part of their program, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So then, when we're talking about more basics, right? We talked about sleep, figure out what that looks like. If you make sure to not eat anything at least about 3 hours before you go to bed, or as a matter of fact, right, here's a simple way to look at it again. 7 in the morning, 7 p.m., right? That's 12 hours. 8 of those hours you could be sleeping.
How many of you guys, depending on your age, have eaten really late at night and you wake up in the middle of the night and you have heartburn?
Can happen.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, can happen.
Yeah.
Experienced it myself before. 100%, right? And so, nonetheless, guys,
that's your body telling you not to do that.
The body does give you signs.
Yep.
The body does communicate.
Yep.
The body does communicate with us. We just don't know how to listen, and you don't know what you don't know. So the idea is to help you guys with those basic things you don't know, basic things that can make a difference, right? And so just remember, right? Balance your sleep, balance your meals, move, right? Let's move. And think of basic movements, right? The primal movement patterns that are out there that even children do, infants do, right? Push, pull, squat, hinge, what else am I looking at? Lunge, rotation, gait, right? Which is walking. Basics. Those are just basics that if we do every day, it's going to improve our mental health, right? It's going to improve our overall well-being. And so...
all it takes is a 20, 30-minute walk per day to start off.
To start.
Yeah, to start, 20, 30-minute walk a day, and it'll improve your mental health drastically. It'll improve your self-confidence, your self-image. That's a start, and then you build from there. That's all it takes.
Yeah, and if you guys need any help, that's what we're here for, right? Reach out and look out for more videos to come, right? We really want to have more conversations about, mental health. Franco here, that's his expertise, that's his area. Me overall, Saint Raphael is my confirmation saint name, right? And that was because I related a lot to his story, right? Saint Raphael in the Book of Tobit. And so, healer, medicine of God, and that's how I saw, exercise, right? Because it does help. I know that if I'm feeling down, if I'm feeling moody, if I'm just, whatever, a good basic exercise, even if I don't feel like it, I just show up. Next thing you know, here we go.
There's so many
and that
times,
alone helps.
So many times I've woken up on the wrong side of the bed, as they say. I don't want to talk to my wife, and my kids are just like too much. I go on a walk or ride the bike, or I have a little 20, 30-minute session at the gym, come back, and I love them. It's like, so
what does that say to dads, right? To you men out there, future dads, future husbands, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're single, married, widowed, divorce. It doesn't matter, right? Like
No.
we're meant to be leaders, guides, even in our communities, even if you don't have that family.
No.
And so, nonetheless, that's what we're here for, right? Doesn't matter who you are, with respect, with kindness, with communication. Doesn't matter who you are, and we're here for everyone. We're here for all of y'all, and so look for future videos.
Yeah,
In exercise science and in mental health. And that being said,
in your walk of life, wherever you are, you can feel like you don't deserve to be living. It's like you don't deserve the grace of God, or you've done stuff. But like honestly, like Angel was saying, we all struggle, we all mess up, and there's redemption. No.
what Frank was talking about is
There's
when we look to be at our lowest point, we just have to remember we're children of God.
No.
We're children of God, no matter what, right?
Exactly.
And so look for future videos about mental health, and you guys take care.
God bless you guys.